Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're going to walk you through the pro qualifying round for the Desert Dunes tournament. So, minus 14, I'm not ecstatic about that. It should have been higher. I just left too many balls at pin, which is bad for me, but ultimately it's going to be good for you because we're going to be talking about very minor tweaks that can easily boost the score up to a minus 16 or better. So, I'm excited about that. I just want to thank everybody for being a subscriber. But if you're not one, please become one by hitting the subscribe button. Also, if you like my playthrough, please take a moment to like the video by hitting the thumbs up. And here we go. All right, hole number one. So hole number one, we're going to play with 10% elevation. And here's my iPad messing up on me already. Let's restart and let's go. Pro qualify. Yep, there we go. All right, 10% at max. Here we're just going to utilize 6 bars of top spin with full side spin to the left. For a reference point, I'm putting my white ring against the rough line there. We hit a perfect ball. And we're going to come up really nice at 393 yards. Now, the reason that I call that out is because shot number 2 on this hole has always been tricky. It is normally best to play with the slider. So if you're good at figuring out a slider, you're really going to need to go that way. If not, we're going to need to be offsetting this shot. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about offsetting just because this isn't a tournament where we get to dial anything in. So if you only have 1 or 2 accounts, I think this is going to be the best way to go. 2 bars of backspin aiming at the hole. I'm playing this one 20% at mid distance of my club. And you'll notice here I'm aiming dead center. Again, this is 20% at mid distance. We're going to be missing to the right hand side here. So there's 2 things you could do. Like I said, you can go ahead and use a slider and figure out the distance of your club to get that shot to be dead center. Or, we could do the same backspin and we can start to add a little bit of side spin to the left. So maybe half a bar and then offset on the left-hand side of the cup. That is where I would start. So if it were me trying to figure this one out, I would go the exact same backspin. I would add 1/2 of a bar of left side spin and then play it 20% at mid and favor the left-hand side of the cup. That's where I would start. If you're going, okay. The rest of this is going to be pretty straightforward. This is going to be this is hole number 2, in which I play 20% at mid. Now, you can see here I'm going for a rough bump, and I'm just looking at this, the way that the rings are dipping into the sand. I just don't think it's a safe shot for the majority of people to pull, and, I didn't like doing it myself. So you are going to see me just totally scrap this more than halfway through the shot clock here. And I'm going to play a much more safe approach. And we do pick up the hole in one here. 3 back, 1 right, 20% at mid. This is 6.2 mile per hour wind. You're going to see me pull this 6.8 rings. Perfect ball with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And this ball comes in really nice. And we sneak it into the right-hand side of the cup for a hole-in-one on hole number 2. That'll take us into hole number 3. Hole number 3 I'm very happy about, as I was able to pick up an albatross on both of my accounts. So now we know that line is really good. Here we're going to be utilizing 6 bars of topspin with max side spin to the right. With my extra mile here, I'm putting half the orange ring in the rough, half on the fairway, as you can see right there. When you pull in the overpower. So we're going to overpower our shot here to about 1/4 of the bottom of our ball is in the bottom adjustment window. As you can see, we have plenty of room, and we don't have to go crazy with the OP because we just want to get enough distance onto the drive here where we're going to be in rough bump range with our sniper. And you can see here, we're at mid distance of our club, so we have plenty of range to get there. So we don't have to go crazy with the OP. Now for here, we're just trying to find the funnel. We're trying to find the sticky spot on the green. Okay, so we're going to settle in right here with our blue ring at the rough line. Notice that the ball guideline is pretty heavy through the pin, okay? Multiple green squares through the pin, and that's just because we're getting headwind and we have a lot of distance from our rough bump to the pin. minus 10% on the elevation at mid. Again, we're playing this one minus 10% elevation at mid. It was very strange, but that's how this hole has always worked. It's like, come on, get there, get there. And then we do sneak it in for the albatross. So, we were coming in a little slow, which made us, our ball, kind of go to the right-hand side of the cup there. That's just the way the wind was pushing and the green was rolling. So here, we're going to duplicate everything. Obviously, I get it done much faster. 3 bars of side spin to the left, but this time, instead of 3 bars at the top, you see me here go about 3.1, 3.2. I already knew I wanted my blue ring at the rough line, so I find that. I find the good sticky spot. Same pull, minus 10% at mid. So you can see there I only pulled about 4.2 rings or so, and the wind is 5.2 miles an hour. That's a small adjustment for a sniper shot. Now we have more speed. This shot's looking good. Camera angle's nice. And this time we go on the left-hand side of the cup. So the more speed on the shot number 2 that I just showed you here, kept our ball more straight. But either way, very nice funnel, putting us in for a double albatross, which is always a nice thing to have. Hole number 4, this is one of those shots where I'm telling you about that we're right at pin. I am going full side spin to the left, and I want you to play it like 5.7, 5.8 bars of top spin. The reason that I say that is because on my other account, I played 6 bars of top spin, which left my ball guideline going at the hole, a little bit through the hole, and it came in a little too hot. Now, it was nothing crazy, but it was just a little bit too much speed. Here, my yellow ring is almost at the rough line, ball guideline pointing to the pin. The thing about this shot here is we need to keep this ball left. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use a slight 11:59 pull angle. So as you can see here, look at my wind arrow. Notice how it's not exactly north. I let it go north to north left, just like that. That's 11:59. We want to completely eliminate the wind arrow going from north to north right, okay? Very, very important on this shot. It's always been important on this shot in tailwind. I have a lot of notes from the previous 2 tournaments that this course showed up on. And, last tournament I took 3 golds out of my 4 accounts. And that's why I was a little bit disappointed with this minus 14. But you can see here we come in really nice on the speed. We want to try to get that wind arrow as north as possible with just a flicker of north to north left. And you can even try to take a little bit of the side spin off if you want, but we're very, very, very close on that drop. Okay, and now this is going to take us into the next one. So here, we're going to be pulling this one 10%, but it's going to be a difficult adjustment because you're going to be going into overpower again because of the headwind. Perfect ball. Now this shot still comes in nice. Now, I'm going to pause this for a second because I want to talk through with some players who are playing with money balls or have money balls to spare. I would highly suggest that if you want to play with a money ball, if you have yourself anything that's a power 5, okay, and the wind resistance 3, or even better, you're going to be at a significant advantage on this hole. Because with the headwind, you want the power, but you also want to reduce the wind. So if you have a Burns ball, a home run ball, I know there's some power 5, wind 4 balls out there now too. Like those type of balls would be really good. And you don't need the side spin. So a lot of those are going to have a side spin 1, and that's completely fine. That would be a great ball to use. It's going to, A, help you out with your drive, and then B, it's going to help you out with this chip-in shot right here. Because again, we're getting a flicker of headwind, which is no problem. But if you're using a wind resistance, or a power 5 ball, wind resistance 3, you're going to get more yards on the drive, and it might leave you with a nice short wedge shot. But here, we're going 10% elevation. And this is just one of those shots that you wish you could have back. Because we're going to leave this one right at the pin. And I actually left both shots like that. Now, the reason why I didn't try to tweak this shot too much is because I just thought maybe it was a little bit of a fluke to miss it that way. I thought maybe it was like a wind pull, like a wind angle thing. So I just kind of took the same shot as I did on my other account on this one. The only thing that I would say to you is all we want to do here is just offset a little bit. Let's just put our ball guideline in the cup, right-hand side of the cup, and hopefully that's going to keep us from just burning the left edge, okay? That's a really good shot, though. I feel very confident that if you just offset that shot by a little bit, you're going to be right in the hole for an eagle. Hole number 6 is 10% at max. As you can see here, I have a kingmaker. I'm going full top spin with a few bars of right side spin, but I fast forward because I swapped this out to a berserker. You know, I didn't know what shot number 2 was going to look like. So I do have my Cataclysm in my bag just in case I need it, and we definitely do. So I do suggest Berserker and Big Dog or Cataclysm on this hole because we're going to need the distance for shot number 2. You can see here I even go into overpower on my drive, you know, but ultimately I hit perfect and this ball comes in really nice onto the fairway. Now I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can play shot number 2. I'm going to show you a Cataclysm rough bump, which we never go for. We don't get that too many opportunities with it. But you can see here I went heavy on the top spin, okay? Gonna go ahead and play this one at max, 20%. So you see the ball guideline going to the pin. A little strange here that I hit a perfect ball and the ball just dies on me and stops onto the fairway, okay? If you're like, forget it, you know, I don't want to go with a rough bump, then I don't blame you. You could easily just go with a ton of backspin and just put this ball on the green like that. The only thing that I would tell you is just go ahead and go full backspin because you're going to see here that I hit a perfect ball and look how far this ball travels down the green. And that was even with almost max backspin. So just go ahead and go max backspin and just leave that one, you know, right onto the green. But either way, that's an easy eagle when you play it that way. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this hole because this hole we're super close on as well. I have never liked the rough bump on this hole, and I don't advise you play it unless you're very confident in your rough bump skills. But for me, it doesn't play consistent. On my first account, I tried this shot with a kingmaker to reduce the wind, and the kingmaker was just too powerful. So I decided to go with a navigator on this account here. 1 bar of side spin to the right, a little bit more than 2 bars of backspin. Notice my ball guideline is going through the hole, dead center. Perfect ball. And I'm like, you kidding me? We got the camera angle, and I thought that ball was in for a hole-in-one. So obviously extremely close. We needed to just shade that ball guideline over a hair to the right-hand side, and that ball will be in for a hole-in-one. That's a very good line. It's a line that we've used in the past. Again, you can play the rough bump if you want. I don't have a replay for it just because I do not like it on this hole. Hole number 8, I'm going to be honest with you, very frustrated that I did this on 2 accounts. Full top, 1 right. We need to take the right side spin off. On my other account, I went full top, 2 right, okay? 10% adjustment here, push back up to max. So notice here, notice how my ball guideline is like in the sand. And still this happens. Now, of course, we're going to be hopping the sand, but we're going full OP. This is a perfect ball too, so this is what really drives me insane. This ball comes in way to the right-hand side and goes into the sand. Now, obviously, this is still a makeable shot. It's not easy, but, you know, I do miss it. I pick up the birdie, you know, on a par 4, which is playing it normal, but we really want to pick up the eagle there. So just keep that in mind. Hole 9, this is really, hole 9, this is 10% if you want, but this is really dead headwind. So we can just shade our ball guideline to the right-hand side of the fairway and then just take our shot. Perfect ball. I would say bring your Big Dog or bring your Cataclysm for shot number 2 because we're definitely going to need the power on shot number 2. And hey, this is wrapping up the qualifying for pro. I really hope you found the video helpful and enjoyable. If you do, please become a subscriber. Please take a second there and hit that thumbs up button for me. That's all that I ask in the qualifying rounds. We're going to go max backspin, couple bars side spin to the right. Here, this is a 10% pull again, 10% at max. Here, I'm using a little bit of overpower with a little bit of curl. Depending on how much distance you get on your drive, you can use more overpower. You know, we were trying to get this thing on green, but we come up short. But regardless, that's a very simple wedge chip in. And that is it. Good luck, everybody. Let me know how you do in the comments. Thanks for watching.